Hello and welcome back to Rooted in the Seasons, where ancient wisdom meets modern life with a strong cup of tea and practical tools for real busy women. I'm Katja Patel, Ayurvedic diet and lifestyle educator, yoga teacher, and teacher mentor. I help women find more calm and clarity through small daily rituals, seasonal rhythm, and timeless wisdom that actually fits into real life. This piece is part of a wider body of work I offer, including my Stress Less, Live More, the Rhythm Workshop, where we explore rhythm, nervous system support, and simple practices together in a deeper and more structured way. But today I would like to talk about something most of us feel, but don't always connect the dots around it. And that's meal planning. Not in a productivity tool way, not as a health rule, but as a way to reduce mental load and support your nervous system. This episode is for you if you care about eating well, but feel strangely exhausted by the question, what's for dinner today? If this sounds familiar, you're certainly not alone. So let me ask you something. Do you recognize this moment? It's the end of the day. You're already tired. Maybe the kids are hungry. Maybe you're hungry yourself. And suddenly deciding what to cook feels much harder than it should. Not because you don't know how to cook, but because you don't have the energy to think, what's for dinner? Do I have the ingredients? Will this be filling enough? Is it healthy enough? It's not dramatic. It just keeps coming back. And this is where things start to connect. I want to share something personal here because this isn't an abstract for me at all. When I was younger, my mother asked me nearly every single day, what would you like to eat? And I remember finding that question really difficult. Not because I was being awkward or picky, but I genuinely didn't know what to say. My mind just didn't offer up any answer. So most of the time I said something like, I don't know, or I don't mind, whatever you cook is fine. Not in a negative way at all, but more in the sense that I didn't have a decision to act. And at the time, I didn't understand how stressful that might have been for my mother or what was actually happening inside me. Looking back now, with everything I know, I can see it more clearly. That question stayed unanswered. And when decision stays open like that, it can create a surprising amount of tension. And what's interesting is that I still notice the same pattern today. Even now, when I'm cooking, if I don't have a plan, I feel stress rising. Again, not because I can't cook, but because until a decision is made, my mind seems to shut down. It's like everything pauses and I just can't think about food anymore. Once the decision is made, even a simple one, the tension drops. The body relaxes, the flow returns. That's the mental load I'm talking about. Meal planning is often framed as discipline or organization or being on top of things. But what's often overlooked is how much mental energy food decisions take. When meals aren't planned, Those decisions usually happen when we're already depleted, hungry, tired, emotionally stretched. And each decision on its own might seem small, but together they add up. When meals are planned, something shifts. The body knows nourishment is coming. The mind doesn't have to keep scanning for solutions. One daily decision is already taken care of. That sense of predictability sends a signal of safety. From an Ayurvedic perspective, regularity and rhythm are deeply grounding, especially for Vata, the part of us that becomes restless, scattered, and overwhelmed easily when life feels too changeable. Regular meals, familiar foods, a loose structure, these aren't restrictions, they are supports. This isn't about control. It's about creating conditions where the nervous system can relax into. And this isn't a theory. It's something I see regularly. So I'm curious, see if any of this feels familiar. Do you notice that food feels harder to deal with when you're already stressed or tired? Do you find yourself thinking about meals all day, even you're busy with other things? Do you ever get to the evening and feel a kind of mental block I was talking about earlier, like you just can't think about food anymore? And when that happens, what do you tend to fall back on? Is it the same dish over and over again? Is it sandwiches because they are quick? Or is it processed food, simply because it takes the least effort in that moment? If so, nothing here means you're doing something wrong. This isn't about willpower. It's about capacity. Now, before we go further, there's something important to say. Meal planning doesn't need to be rigid or time-consuming to be supportive. Think rhythm, not rules. Even planning 2 or 3 meals a week can make a difference. For some people, it helps to set aside a small planning window, 20, 30 minutes once a week. For others, sharing the mental load makes all the difference. You might involve your family and ask everyone to contribute just one meal, their favorite meal. You could even make it playful, writing favorite meals on a piece of paper and putting them in a jar and drawing a few on the planning day. And even if you don't like what you draw, that's still information. It tells you what matters to people you're feeding. And the good thing is, there's another layer of support to this. When you do your planning, you can write your shopping list there and then. And if you shop online, you can even order straight away and have it delivered. That's another layer of decision-making taken care of. Let me pause here for a moment, because this is important. A meal plan is not a rule. It's not something you have to follow. It's there for the moments when you can't or you don't want to make another decision. So if something comes up, if plans change, or if you simply fancy something else, that's what you cook. The plan is a reference point, not a rigid structure. Supportive, not demanding. So here's what to remember from this episode. Meal planning isn't about eating perfectly. It's about reducing daily mental load. It's about creating rhythm. And it's about being supported on tired days. Small, steady changes matter. Enough really is enough. If you're listening to this and thinking, is there somewhere where I can begin gently? My free guide, my 5 quick Ayurvedic fixes from scattered to steady, is a lovely place to start. You'll find the link in the show notes. Let's land this gently. You don't need to do all of this. One small step is enough. Thank you so much for listening to Rooted in the Seasons. If you enjoyed this episode, you can subscribe or follow the podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, so new episodes land automatically for you. And if something in today's episode resonated, I genuinely love to hear from you. You can connect with me on Substack, or even better, just send me an email. I always read and answer them as well. Until next time, stay rooted in the seasons. Thank you.